Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max and Trev with our Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 7 reaction and review. This episode is called The Broken Man. What's going on, Trev?
Not too much. Really happy about this episode.
I know, I liked it a lot. There was not a lot of big, crazy, revelations or... Well, there was a revelation. What am I talking about? There wasn't any crazy action pieces, but I was totally fine with a slower, more relaxing episode.
Totally slowed down, but my God.
Right
off the bat.
Yeah, so back with the Hound. Totally fits the title, The Broken Man. And I loved it because, I was nervous. I thought he was going to come back, but what made me nervous was the fact that, I didn't want him to come back just all of a sudden a monk, because I didn't feel like that fit his character.
No.
And I feel like they really transitioned him in this episode really well.
Well, they separated him from everything else, other than his backstory. So we don't really know where he is. We don't know, where in the realm he is geographically. And some dudes rolled up later in his scenes, and we don't know who he said they're from the Brotherhood
of the Banners.
Yeah, but we don't know where they're occupying at this place, and we don't know the time is what I'm thinking. We don't know when this took place because it didn't show any relation to anything else going on.
Well, you know what that means? Now the Hound is leaving,
Mm-hmm.
and guess what? He's gonna bump back into Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr next episode. I'm calling it.
You think so though?
I think so. And
yeah, I think there's a lot of religious things here. The guy was wearing the symbol.
He was wearing the seven. I believe he was wearing the 7-pointed star, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I loved Ian McShane's character just right off the bat.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah, he was really cool, and he made me really like him, and he was hardly on screen. And I just liked seeing the Hound, how he was so hardened, and then all of a sudden he started getting involved with the community, and he ended up being a part of it. And then
even though sort of he was the extrovert.
Yeah.
He was really, or I guess introvert in this case, but he was away from everybody else.
Yeah, and
cutting wood, and everyone even said he was scared of him.
Yeah,
people were scared of him.
And then when everyone was wiped out, you actually see that he was upset about it. And that's what I like about it, is that this whole episode, it was slower, but we see how the Hound has changed, and he actually took some things that the Ian McShane character told him.
Yeah.
How to live his life and stuff, and you can see that he took it. And I think this is the show's version of him. I don't think he's going to become a holy saint.
In the book, you think? You're saying this is sort of the one fans service thing that they do?
No, I'm saying that in the book, I think he's going to be more of a holiness. I feel like
the Kung Fu monk, you mean?
Yeah, but I feel like here he's still going to be the Hound, but he's going to have a little bit more morals. He's going to be a little bit more of a nicer guy. He's going to be a little bit more...
I think this kind of set up his good and nice guy morals.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
I know he took the axe, but he's I don't think he'll be able to do it, because he's the last thing Ian McShane says is viruses or violence is like a disease, and
yeah.
He's he might learn his lesson on the next bit of violence that he goes into, but I think that just set him on a path of righteousness.
Yeah, and I think it did set him on a path of righteousness, but I feel once in a while the occasional fight. But right now he is injured. He's still he's limping. I don't know if that's
still
a permanent...
strong as fuck though. They did show that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a permanent limp or what. But then you and I both had the same thought that this might not even be in the chronological time frame.
No.
But I kind of changed my mind, and I think it actually is. But it could be a while back.
I'm thinking it happened he says that he found him. Who knows how long they've been together? But it seems like one of those things that it could be. They did, like I said, they didn't show it in relation to anything. Nobody showed up. No key guy showed up to say this was after this and these things had already happened. This was totally separate. He was away from all of that shit.
No, that's why he was so detached that it made me feel like he could literally be in any part of the timeline. He could be in season 5, episode 5 right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think they really established that he's been with this group for a while. He's really grown and that kind of thing. And finally, with the Hound, I just want to talk about how Ian McShane, I forget his name, sorry, but he said that the gods, he said it casually because he's not a religious fanatic, or is he?
He was a sept, but he didn't seem, he seemed casual. He talked about his, background being sort of a sellsword or maybe a soldier.
Yeah, but he said the gods have a plan for you. And I kept saying with the Hound is that he's a really important character, because even in season 3, when he had the fight with Beric Dondarrion, they said the Red God has plans for you, and he wrote it off. And I've been trying to apply what he was meant for, but then they bring it up again. So there is something big coming with the Hound. Maybe he total fan theory. He meets up with Arya. Don't think so. Maybe we get Clegane Bowl.
Yeah, like I'm trying to wrap my head around a Clegane Bowl though.
I know. How would that work?
Because I
Because
don't know,
would
man.
he want to fight his brother? I feel like now he's at the point where he's like, fuck it. I want to live my life. I don't want to be.
Yeah, but he might
It's
have
like-
no choice. That was what I was thinking. Because if he becomes part of the Sept, they might make him do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's true.
And he's
So-
like, maybe I swore off violence, but my religion is calling me out here, not my brother. It's my duty as a religious. And I did all this shit, and now I owe it to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but let me know what you think of this initial reaction.
Yeah,
I think,
little long on the Hound there.
I think the Hound, naturally, he grabbed the axe. I think naturally he's going to end up going to the Brotherhood Without Banners. He's going to try and talk to them. I think Thor, Samir, and Beric Dondarrion are going to be there. They're going to talk. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think that naturally connects to Blackfish and Jaime Lannister.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe and the Bannermen are rallying people to help with the Blackfish. So that kind of ties into the Hound meeting up with the Bannermen, meeting up with the Blackfish, meeting up with Jaime. So it's like this crazy thing, meeting up with King's Landing. So I think that's where the Hound will go. He'll go to the Bannermen, he'll go to the Blackfish, and then he'll go to the Lannisters. And because the Blackfish will go support Jon, and then he will end up in King's Landing for Clegane Bowl episode 10. I think I just broke the code.
Yeah, but why would he? I feel like they would kill him on the spot.
Well, this is for our full analysis episode because I need to sit down and
there's
really
there's a
construct.
lot. We're open up.
Yeah,
this
these are my
box,
initial thoughts, but I need to really construct my thoughts. But moving on to the next, what the fuck I almost broke down was Arya. So Arya's out there just kind of moseying around, and she found herself a ride to Westeros in 2 days.
No, she wasn't moseying. She was like confidently walking around like an idiot.
I
Like,
know.
I don't know. I'm thinking that it was a little bit too much how she was walking around like she owned the spot. So I'm starting to think that she sort of planned this. I'm 50-50 on this.
I think she got put in check. I think that was her. I think she was like, "Oh, I'm out of the faceless man," and she's like, "Haha, like I'm great." And she didn't.
think
She
so?
didn't. Like, this is the biggest reality check because I think right now she wasn't thinking about like, "Oh, they're gonna come and get me." I think she was just like, whatever. And like when she got stabbed, it threw me for a loop. I was even looking for shit. Like you're like, she has meat in her stomach. She has meat in her stomach. We were trying to find a reason how she
Yeah,
like
it was
didn't end up getting
crazy.
stabbed, but it hit flesh. She's definitely stabbed.
But like, what was she thinking?
I don't know.
What was she
I
thinking
don't
was
know.
gonna happen?
I don't know, but I think this is a huge reality check, and there's only one person she does know, and she did save her life, was the actress who plays Cersei. So what could she do for her?
Stitch her up if those were real wounds.
First of all, that would be a start. Stitch her up. But then what's her plan after that? You brought this up before we started recording. In the trailer, we see a hand go over a wall with blood.
Yeah.
I don't have the trailer with me since this is our reaction video.
And that's that running scene that we're gonna see. It's gonna be a cat and mouse chase through the street.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
she's gonna set, like, I don't know if this is the setup, but she looked distressed at the end of her scenes.
Yeah.
Like, she was like not trusting anybody on the streets, and she was literally walking, and you see the blood. But that scene, what we saw in like the season trailer, where someone touches a wall and then goes down an alley, was almost like a way of leading into.
But I want to say quickly before we piss people off, I don't know if that's a harpy or if that's Arya. I don't have the image up with me right now. We'll go through that in depth later. And then we do see her parkouring throughout the streets. I think that's next episode. I feel like next episode is Arya's episode. And then the next episode after that is Jon's episode. I think we're going to be getting... Yeah, like she gets stitched up, but then like how does she even heal? Like I think she needs to survive the next 2 days until she can get on that ship. I think that's her main concern.
Mm-hmm.
That just kind of...
But I think the Waif's toying with her though, because I think she could have killed her a lot easier than that. She's got a lot of emotion in there.
Yeah, kill her painlessly, and she picked out the digits in her stomach where she could stab her and not actually kill
like
her.
she did a quick swipe and then a couple stabs to the stomach. She's totally toying with her. That's why Jaqen wouldn't stand for that kind of kill. It would be a one-shot deal.
Yeah, it was really exposed too. It wasn't an assassin at all.
No.
It was just
because she even
anger.
like fixed herself and like looked around. She's got a lot of emotion, and that's what's gonna be the end of her.
Yeah, so that's just like, I don't know if Arya's gonna choose to run or if she's gonna choose to fight.
I'll call it here. I'm saying she's pulling her into the streets like a cat and mouse, and she's gonna lead her into a corner.
And lead her into darkness because she's been blind. She's used to that. And I think it's going to be like a Batman and Bane thing where you turn off the lights and she doesn't know what to do. Unless I'm doubting the Waif and she's actually way more crazy than I give her credit for.
No, she's dead.
So that's Arya. Let's go over to Jon and Sansa. So a lot of recruiting. This was a recruiting episode. So we go to House Mormont, and I didn't think they would pull the little lady Mormont.
Yeah.
But they did, and she was feisty, man.
Yeah, she's tough ass.
And we find out she's being so tough ass over, 42 men?
I'm surprised he didn't show, like, the sword. But I guess it was Davos'
I think that's almost... I was thinking about that, but I thought it was almost like an insult. Like, look, I'm not a Mormont, and I have your dad's Mormont's...
No, but like, hey,
sword.
like, your was it uncle?
Yeah.
It was like, your uncle trusted me enough to give me this sword.
I know.
Like, it would have been a sign, but I think it had to kind of...
See, I thought about that.
Davos.
I was thinking about that, too. But at the same time, I thought of last episode when Randall Tarly was like, that sword has been in the Randall household for 500 years. The only reason Jon got that sword is because Jorah shamed the family. So it's almost like an insult to injury if he did that. But Davos, I think it really showed Davos as like, obviously he's done it before. He's a really good talker, really good convincer.
But even Sansa was taking shots at Davos.
Yeah.
Because they only secured 62 guys.
Yeah, she's been going after Davos. Like, it's almost like she's like, jealous of him in a sense. I don't know.
There's just so much tension, right? Like, you see it at the end with these guys. They're sort of like nitpicking. There's like wildlings fighting other guys, and it just seems like they don't have it together yet, which is right because they don't have enough guys to go after it. Jon's saying we gotta do it now. Sansa's like, no, we gotta wait, and she wrote some secret note.
Do we know who she wrote it to?
No.
See, here's the thing. I think definitely that's a stupid decision. If Jon goes in now, he loses. I feel like Sansa, whoever she sent that note to,
it's gotta be Littlefinger.
It's going to save the day. Either it is Littlefinger at the Vale, or it is the Black... Oh, no, she did send... What the fuck is wrong with me? She did send Bran to go get the Blackfish army.
Yeah, so who's she sending that crow to, though?
So she's sending it to Peter Baelish.
It's gotta be, right?
It's gotta be Peter Baelish, yeah.
Right? So she's hedging her bets that maybe Brienne can't muster the rallying of these guys? I don't know.
I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see Brienne in the middle of a siege between the Blackfish and her great friend Jaime.
There's a lot of moving parts here. Like, the Blackfish is surrounded. And he even says, like, I could be here for 2 years. I have provisions enough to do for 2 years. So do you see them, like, not being sieged, breaking out from the fray, Lannister alliance, and then marching to Winterfell all in the next couple episodes?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, I see... Fuck, man.
Like,
yeah,
what's going to happen to the Lannister army?
The Blackfish feels like he doesn't want to move. So it's like, what would make him want to move? And what would make him want to support Sansa? Maybe the fact that if he gets the Starks back in Winterfell, they can then in turn help him take Riverrun back later when he's more prepared.
I think Blackfish is dying.
Like, the Blackfish says, hey, I'll give you guys this. Let me and my armies go as you promised. And then behind the back, he goes, okay, perfect. Now I'll go team with the Starks. I'll get the Starks to rally behind me. And then I'll come back and take back what is mine. There we go. And I have allies to back me up. I think that's a smarter move. But we could potentially have Brienne, the Hound, Podrick, Bronn, Jaime, Blackfish, all these people in one story.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Because everyone's alliances are so different now.
Yeah, it's totally flipped.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. It was a really good episode. It was like not a brick episode. It was a mortar episode.
Yeah, so
they had to explain a lot of things, and the fucking Hound being back is pretty big.
Yeah, it's unreal. And then so quickly, Jon and Sansa went to another person. I forget what house it was, but they turned them down.
Something
Glovers? Yeah.
Something like
that. So
they
turned them down. So that's it with them. I wonder if they're going to be doing more recruiting, because we know the big Bastard Bowl, Battle of the Bastards, is episode 9. Margaery and Olenna, really quick. She's, obviously, we knew Marjorie's been manipulating like crazy just to try and appease the people, appease the High Sparrow, and protect her own skin. But then when she slipped that letter, or like note, to Lady Olenna, I thought it would be a little bit more than a flower.
No, because think about this.
It's like a symbol.
She's under fucking strict watch.
Yeah.
Like, I think even Sparrow kind of knows what's up. He's too wise. That's why he has that nun chasing her all the time. So she draws a rose, and it's like, okay, she doesn't think much of it. She can pass that and know, like, that's the symbol of strength. I'm still strong. I'm still you guys. boom, hands her.
Yeah,
even
that's
if she
true.
got
Yeah,
caught, right?
That does
They
say
would
a
be, oh,
lot.
I was just drawing a
Yeah,
rose.
you're totally right. That does say a lot. I'm not
Me,
corrupted.
yeah.
I'm still me. Yeah, and then, Olenna and Cersei talk. They're really, Olenna fucking is pissed at Cersei.
Yeah, no, she just wants out of there. Like I
she
said,
brought
she's
down the whole
been
thing.
wanting to leave forever now, but she wanted to take her grandkids, and now she trusts.
Yeah,
Marjorie
Cersei doesn't
has it.
want to leave. I feel like...
Well, there's something going up with Marjorie too. Like she seems like she wants to get out too. She's not doing anything with Tommen, because even Tommen.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Tommen got spared to ask about fucking booty call, basically.
What a bitch. Yeah, he's like, he asked the high sparrow to ask about his sex life.
Hey, why you got her in confession? Can you ask her about the marriage bed or whatever they call it?
Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah, it's hilarious.
But she's like not giving it up, which she seems like she has been with every other king. So like she's out of there. She's already planned to get out of there.
Yeah, 100%. And then, the last person I can think of right now is Theon and Yara. So, there's pretty much just kind of hope that Theon will change back.
I couldn't tell where they were.
They're in, I know what it is. Volantis? I think Volantis.
No.
They're in the city that Tyrion and Varys were in when they were in the box.
That's right.
And they walked to Volantis. That's where they were. That's where Jorah kidnapped Tyrion. That's where they are.
Yes.
And then pretty much this whole scene was to try and convert Theon back to Theon, and Yara's a lesbo.
Yeah, well, who knows if she might swing both ways. But
She seemed pretty swinging one way.
well, yeah, but
I guess, her dad put a lot of the...
put the pressure on.
Put the male
But no,
pressure on.
Like that's what it seems like. It just seems like anything goes. She's a pirate.
Yeah.
Queen. Anything goes.
Yeah.
But no, Theon was having a hard time here. Without having a hard time, if you get my drift. Like he was like shaking.
Yeah, I know. So I wonder, like
there's whores all around, and he's like he can't even deal with it.
Yeah, it's just to keep reminding him that he doesn't have a dick anymore.
But no, she like talked him up and kept getting him to drink it off, basically.
Yeah, so
told him to cut his wrists.
Yeah,
cut
kill
your wrists if
himself.
you can't deal with this shit.
Yeah, so then they're going to go see Daenerys. I'm sure they will. And then, Euron says, build me 1,000 ships. Daenerys says, I need 1,000 ships.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Yara and Theon go there and say, sup, Danny, we have some ships here that we can bring some of your people over. But then if you want to take over the Iron Islands for us, we will provide you all, we'll build you more ships.
I picture a water battle happening.
Yeah.
Next season.
Yeah. It's like, don't worry, Danny, we got the wood. We'll use the crown, the Salt Throne crown, to build you all of our 1,000 ships, since we don't have any more wood. But I think that's it for the recap. Was there anything else that we forgot?
No, I'm trying to think of anything else. Nothing fresh in the mind.
Well, there was obviously something that we forgot because this is the reaction. We just step in and talk about the episode and give our thoughts.
Yeah.
But in some time, I don't want to say how many days because who the hell knows.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing an in-depth analysis. Get ready. It's going to be awesome.
Woo!
I'm Max.
I'm Trev.
And see you guys later.